Thank you, Steve. I'm glad you're listening to this month's forecast. This month is all about 8. 8 is the month of August. Breath stands for 8, or what they call pranic. The pranic body is all about your breath and your ability in this life to be fearless and energetic, or full of life. 8 can make someone very successful in many areas of life, especially in business or in healing. Numerology is always the same thing. It's just energy and information. It can tell you everything about yourself. We look at a path number. The path number is always about the number of empowerment. And what does that number consist of? If you add all the numbers together in your birthday, all the parts of the year, so don't just do, like if you're born in 64, don't just add 6 and 4, you'd want to add the 1 and the 9. But the little trick is the 9 doesn't even have to be added because 9 is the vanishing number, but we won't go there. So we look at all these numbers and you come for your path, you get to your conclusion, your path of empowerment. So what is this all about with 8? 8 is lively, executive, big-hearted, money, achievement, leadership, healer, compassion, philanthropic, powerful, energetic, and entrepreneurial. Well, add your empowerment number. If you didn't have the quality of breath, that sustaining force in your life, this is how you could behave. We always start with 10. 10, if they didn't have breath, they could be quite confused about where they should exert themselves, what areas they should really rise to the top and lead, and what areas they should really stay out of it. It could be quite confusing in their leadership. 9 would become very critical of others and very stingy. They would have a tendency to really hoard money and be very fussy. 8 would be very bossy, path of 8, and they would really be confused about when they should exert their power. They could be very uninspired too, and very fearful, almost irrational, making up fears of poverty or whatever. 7 would be all about becoming too reclusive, hypersensitive, very confused, or overwhelming, and they could lose boundaries even with themselves and others and just go off and vanish into their own loneliness. 6, their immune system would suffer greatly. They could get very meddlesome, suspicious, uncooperative. They could even fall down and trip, but definitely the immune system would suffer without breath. 5 would be all overindulgent. They would eat too much. They'd be self-obsessive, inflexible, inconsistent. They might just not finish anything. 4 would be argumentative, bossy, unyielding, so opinionated and stern. 3 would get fearful of everything, bad habits, overindulgent, their unrealistic goals, and set into motion hopelessness. 2 would become clingy, make poor decisions, want to belong at any cost. They could get very careless. They could get passive-aggressive. They could feel used. Now, 1, we can't say because obviously if you add all the numbers together and then reduce, because anything higher than 11 has to be reduced, so there really could be not a possibility that a person could have a path number of 1. And then what would 11 be like if your path number is 11? They would be so uncommitted and unrealistic, almost fanatical and impractical, maybe a big martyr and lost in chaos. You see, everything is about opposites. And if we didn't have this vital breath, sustaining prana, these are some of the qualities. So what we want to do is we want to breathe deeply. Whenever you can, take a big inhale and an exhale cleansing breath. We want to do walking or aerobics, anything that can get some sense of breath happening. Also, some forms of yoga where you intentionally take a deep breath and even hold it. Remember this about 8. 8 is the lucky infinity number. So in this month of 8 of August, Be as lively, big-hearted, and achievement-oriented as you can. This applies for all the numbers. So thank you, Steve. And remember, it's always about the numbers. Britt's got your number. Find me, friend me on Facebook, like me, or go to my website, britsgotyournumber.com. Everybody have a great, lively, fearless, and energetic August.